Oh,
Okay.
can I do the slate? Can I do the slate? Can I do the slate?
You gotta do it right here. Great.
I've never seen Darren that excited in my life. All right. Hey, this is Brian, and we're at Atlas Oceanic Sound and Picture, and I am here with Darren Fung, the maestro who does the music for Far, Farther vs. Sun, and Une Libération. The interesting thing on this one was I didn't have a lot of room for the music planned here. You only had 2 cues to worry about. When do you like to get involved in the process of doing the score?
Really, I mean, when I read a script, I can have one image in my mind, and then, I look at a cut, it's completely different. So I generally don't start writing music until I see at least some sort of picture, like an assembly or rough cut. One of the questions I'll ask, whose music is it? Is it the audience's music? Is it, this character's music? Is it...
Where's the point of view?
Exactly. You go write something, and then I'll give you, an MP3 or a QuickTime movie of what it is. You'll trash it, say I hate it, and then you send it back, and then, well...
I usually say it's beautiful, it's lovely,
but
it doesn't work. Yeah, well, I mean, that was the funny thing, was that we had done the whole movie, and there had been no music for this 15-minute period, and suddenly we have a little bit of music creep in at the end, and what I found is that it's a lovely cue, but it was too much music at that moment in the movie because we hadn't had any music, and it was a little overwhelming at that point. I felt horrible. It's an amazing cue. And what was great was when we did the scoring session, you snuck it into the recording. I didn't know that morning, and you were like, well, we only had an hour, so I'm recording that other cue. So it actually ended up getting recorded by a full string orchestra, and it's great to have. But the other cue was completely different. The first one was very orchestral. It was like 30 string players on it. And this other one was just a percussion track. And my goal with that was just to kind of get down to underscoring this documentary footage and to kind of give the documentary footage a drive, but without coloring it with like emotion.
I think one of the hardest things that when hearing your temp music with a picture in that opening cue was not giving it too much of this military march thing. But I think that's something that we found, I made it very military at first with, like snare drums and blah, 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 blah. And it just didn't work. Ultimately, I think what it was that you just said it's too much. It's too specific emotionally.
We did the first 2 cues, and both times you did these beautiful cues, and I rejected them, and then you did another cue. But then we got to the trailer. You did an original score for the trailer. When you watch the trailer, it's an original score. And the trailer was almost perfect the first time I heard it. What made that smoother? How did that go faster?
Using the temp music as a guide, just saying like, hey, what about this temp music do you like?
I really liked the trailer for Alien.
Yeah.
So I just put my movie on top of that, which was a really bizarre experience to watch the Alien trailer music with my footage. And then that's what I gave to you, and that's kind of what you pulled out from it. And it was just kind of making it unnerving.
And that's exactly, it was the unnerving thing. And what about it, I was asking you, what about this makes it unnerving?
Yeah, and you were very good about dialing in what sounds actually accomplish that.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Far, we did this thing where we had 5 string players and we recorded them 3 times. This time, rather than using an LA group, we actually went to Prague. We didn't go to Prague. We had an ISDN line, and Prague came to us.
At a certain point, when you have a certain amount of musicians, because I guess the cost of living is a lot lower there, that you can hire a bunch of musicians for a lot less than what you'd have to pay people here. You're sort of conflicted about that because you'd like to keep things local, but on
I would
the other
love
hand,
to keep things local.
For a little indie short film that doesn't really have a whole lot of budget, in order to do what we did here, it would probably cost 5 times as much. I remember that when we first talked about, I was like, oh, we're gonna get like 60-piece orchestra.
Oh yeah,
blah,
it was
blah,
huge.
blah,
What you
blah,
originally
blah,
wanted to do
blah,
was
blah.
gigantic.
Yeah, and then Brian's like, I don't think we need that, and
Right.
we don't have the money for that. So
No.
I
I don't think sure I even had the money for what we did, but we did it. So it was
well,
good.
we did it. Well, there you go. We did it, and yeah, and it worked out really well.
It did. I mean, it's lovely and beautiful, and you really let the solo instrument shine. Like you really feel, like we were saying about the character.
Yeah.
That you can feel that there are instruments assigned to characters and emotions
Right.
when you listen to it. And even though the majority of it plays out over the end credits, and that's my biggest kind of sadness about it, is that the music is so lovely and so great, and it's going to be playing the credits, and people are going to be talking. But please don't talk during the credits of this film, and just listen to it because it's amazing and should be heard in a big theater. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.